What if I told you that right now, while you're sitting there feeling perfectly fine, your feet could be quietly screaming that your kidneys are dying? Not tomorrow, not next month, today. I'm Dr. Richard Hale, and in the next few minutes, I want you to look down at your feet and ask yourself a simple question. Do they ever swell, tingle, or feel strange for no clear reason? Because what most people don't realize is that these tiny everyday sensations could be your body's first desperate cry for help. Here's the truth. Kidney disease is one of the most silent and devastating killers in America. More than 37 million people live with it, yet 9 out of 10 have no idea their kidneys are already failing. You could lose up to 90% of your kidney function before you feel truly sick, and by then, it's often too late. I've seen patients walk into my clinic smiling only to learn that their kidneys had already crossed the point of no return. Dialysis or transplant became their only hope. But here's the shocking part that no one tells you. Long before the lab tests, long before the doctor's visit, your body sends signals you can see every single day. They show up in your feet, in how they swell, change color, itch, burn, or go numb, like tiny distress flares from deep inside your body. The problem is, most people ignore them until the damage is done. That ends today. Because in this video, I'll show you exactly what those warning signs look like, why they happen, and what you can do right now to stop kidney disease before it steals your health and independence. These aren't random foot problems, they're messages, and once you learn how to read them, you can change everything. So stay with me because what you're about to discover could save your kidneys, your mobility, and possibly your life. Let's start with the first signal your body sends swelling. It might seem harmless at first. You take off your shoes at the end of the day, see a little puffiness around your ankles, maybe a faint mark where your socks were, and you shrug it off, thinking it's from walking too much or eating something salty. But what if that swelling is your kidneys waving a red flag? I'm Dr. Richard Hale, and I've seen this sign too many times to ignore. One of my patients, Robert, a retired carpenter, once told me he thought his swollen ankles were just part of getting old. When he finally came in, his kidney function had already dropped below 30%, and he had no idea. Here's what was really happening. Healthy kidneys keep your body's salt and water perfectly balanced. But when they start to fail, that balance breaks. Sodium builds up, your body holds on to extra fluid, and gravity pulls it down to your feet and ankles. The swelling becomes what doctors call pitting edema. If you press your finger into your skin and it leaves an imprint that stays for a few seconds, that's your body's quiet cry for help. Studies show that more than 60% of early kidney disease patients experience swelling before any blood test reveals a problem. It's not just about water retention, it's your filtration system failing to keep up. Now think about this. That swelling isn't random. It's your kidneys begging for attention long before you feel pain or fatigue. If it happens often, especially in the evening, it's time to take it seriously. Don't just blame age or long hours on your feet. Your body's trying to talk to you, and swelling might be the first word in a very urgent conversation. But knowing this first sign is only the beginning. Because what happens next is far more personal, and it strikes where you least expect it, deep inside your nerves. But only recognizing swelling isn't enough, because the next warning reveals how toxins start silencing the very nerves in your feet, and that's where real danger begins. Now let's move to the second warning sign, numbness and tingling in your feet. This one sneaks in quietly, almost like static electricity running under your skin. At first, you might feel pins and needles in your toes at night, or a strange burning sensation that makes it hard to sleep. Most people blame bad circulation, diabetes, or simply getting older. But here's the shocking truth that creeping numbness could be your kidneys telling you that toxins are building up faster than your body can handle. I remember a woman named Maria, a 62-year-old teacher, who came to me complaining that her toes often tingled after long days at school. She thought it was just her shoes, but when we ran her tests, her kidney function was barely holding at 35%. The waste that her kidneys could no longer filter was poisoning her nerves. Doctors call this uremic neuropathy, and it can start months or even years before a person realizes they have kidney disease. Science explains why. When your kidneys stop filtering efficiently, harmful molecules like urea and creatinine stay in your blood. Over time, they attack the protective coating on your nerve fibers, the myelin sheath stripping it away. Because the longest nerves are in your legs and feet, they're the first to suffer. That's why numbness often starts at the toes and slowly creeps upward. Studies show that up to 70% of people with chronic kidney disease develop some level of nerve damage even before diagnosis. Here's why this matters. When you lose feeling in your feet, you also lose protection. You might step on a nail, develop a blister, or burn yourself without noticing, and by the time you do, infection has already set in. This is how small, unnoticed injuries can spiral into serious complications, even amputations. So if your feet are tingling, burning, or going numb, don't dismiss it as normal aging. It's a signal, a warning that toxins are silently disrupting your nerves. But only knowing the second sign isn't enough, because what happens next digs even deeper into your bones, your joints, and every painful step you take. And that's where the real agony of kidney disease begins. Now let's talk about the third warning sign, deep, relentless foot pain. After numbness comes something even more personal, because this pain doesn't just live on the surface, it drills down into your bones. Many people blame it on arthritis, aging, or wearing the wrong shoes, but when that pain becomes sharp throbbing, or strikes mostly at night, it may not be your feet that are the real problem. It's your kidneys crying out through your joints. I once treated a patient named David, a 58-year-old mechanic who came to me after weeks of unbearable pain in his big toe. He thought it was just from standing on concrete all day. But his lab results told another story. His kidneys were failing, and his uric acid levels were through the roof. What was really happening? Those crystals of uric acid were stabbing his joints from the inside out, a condition known as gout. One of the most painful and overlooked complications of kidney disease. Here's the science behind it. Healthy kidneys filter uric acid and keep minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D in balance. But when the kidneys weaken, this balance collapses. Calcium drains from your bones, leaving them brittle, while uric acid builds up in your blood, forming sharp crystals that inflame your joints. Research shows that nearly 1 in 3 people with kidney disease develops gout, and having gout in turn raises your risk of kidney failure by more than 40%. It's a vicious circle. The weaker your kidneys, the more severe the pain, and the worse your kidneys become. So if your feet ache every night, if your toes flare with sudden burning pain, don't just reach for painkillers. Those quick fixes mask a deeper issue. Your body's filtration system struggling to handle toxic overload. Listen to that pain, because it's not just discomfort, it's a message from within. But only knowing this third sign isn't enough, because sometimes your kidneys don't just make you feel pain, they change how your body looks. And that visible transformation often begins with a subtle shift in the color of your skin. The fourth warning sign hides in plain sight. It's the color of your skin. Sometimes the most serious symptoms don't hurt at all, they just show. Look down at your feet for a moment. Do they look paler than usual? Maybe with a bluish tint? Or have you noticed patches that look darker, almost bruised or reddish, even when you haven't injured yourself? Those changes aren't about aging or circulation alone. They can be a clear reflection of what's happening deep inside your kidneys. I'll never forget Ellen, a 64-year-old woman who came into my office worried about her feet turning 2 shades darker than her legs. She thought they were just age spots, but her blood tests revealed advanced kidney disease and severe vascular damage. What she saw on her skin was literally her circulation shutting down. The same high blood pressure and diabetes that damage your kidneys also damage the tiny arteries that feed your feet. When those vessels narrow, oxygen can't reach the tissues. The result, pale or white feet when arteries are blocked, or dark purplish, almost ruddy tones when blood gets trapped and can't flow back. Science backs this up. Low oxygen delivery causes tissue hypoxia, and when it becomes critical, toes may even turn blue or black. In worst cases, dead tissue known as gangrene forms a true medical emergency. Meanwhile, another process is quietly at work. As phosphorus builds up from poor kidney filtration, it irritates the skin and triggers persistent itching. Repeated scratching leads to micro wounds and darker pigmentation over time. According to clinical studies, more than 80% of late-stage kidney patients show some type of skin discoloration linked to poor blood flow or toxin buildup. So the next time you notice your feet looking different in color, don't dismiss it as nothing. Your skin might be showing what your kidneys can't say, that circulation and filtration are breaking down at the same time. It's one of the most visible cries for help your body gives you. But only knowing this fourth sign isn't enough, because what comes next doesn't just show on your skin, it feels like torture. And that unbearable itching may be the loudest warning your body has left. The fifth warning sign is one that drives many patients to the edge: relentless itching that feels impossible to stop. Imagine lying in bed scratching your feet until the skin breaks, yet the relief never comes. You change soaps, lotions, even detergents, but nothing works. That's because this itch doesn't start on your skin, it starts inside your body. It's not a simple rash or dryness, it's your kidneys screaming through your nerves that they can no longer filter out toxins. I once treated a patient named Mark, a 65-year-old retired engineer, who used to scratch his feet so violently he wore socks to bed to keep from bleeding. His tests showed his phosphorus levels were dangerously high. You see, when your kidneys can't remove excess phosphorus, it builds up in the blood, mixes with calcium, and forms deposits that irritate the skin from within. These microcrystals trigger an unbearable itch known as uremic pruritus, one of the most tormenting complications of kidney failure. Science reveals the staggering truth. Studies show that up to 90% of people with advanced kidney disease suffer from this kind of itching. And it's not just uncomfortable, it can destroy sleep spike anxiety and even worsen kidney decline. The more you scratch, the more your skin breaks, leading to infections that your weakened immune system struggles to fight. It becomes a cruel cycle of irritation, damage, and exhaustion. Research from the American Journal of Nephrology found that chronic itching in kidney patients doubles the risk of depression and drastically lowers quality of life. If you're battling persistent itching around your feet or ankles with no clear cause, it's time to look deeper. This is not dry skin, it's a warning. Your body is trying to rid itself of toxins it can no longer eliminate naturally. Don't wait until the itch spreads or keeps you up at night. That's your body begging for help. But only knowing this fifth sign isn't enough, because sometimes the trouble doesn't itch or sting, it moves, crawls, and burns deep within your legs when you try to rest. And that restless feeling may reveal the next silent stage of kidney damage. The sixth warning sign is one that steals your peace at night: restless legs that simply won't let you sleep. Picture this: you finally lie down exhausted, ready for rest, but the moment you get comfortable, your legs start to crawl, tingle, or twitch as if they're alive. You try to stay still, but the urge to move is overwhelming. Most people think it's just nerves or stress, but in reality, this could be your kidneys throwing off your body's chemical balance. I remember Thomas, a 61-year-old truck driver who came to me after months of sleepless nights. He said, "Doc, it feels like bugs are crawling under my skin." He'd pace his bedroom until sunrise, desperate for relief. When we ran his labs, his creatinine was high, and his kidney function had dropped by nearly half. What was really happening? The toxins his kidneys couldn't clear were interfering with dopamine, the brain chemical that controls muscle movement. That imbalance triggers the uncontrollable sensations known as restless leg syndrome, and it's far more common in kidney patients than most realize. Scientific studies confirm that up to 60% of people with chronic kidney disease experience restless legs, and it hits hardest at night when your body should be healing. The more severe it gets, the worse your sleep quality becomes, and poor sleep accelerates kidney decline even faster. It's a vicious loop. Toxins disrupt sleep, exhaustion raises inflammation, and that inflammation pushes your kidneys closer to failure. And because weak kidneys can't clear medications properly, even the usual drugs for restless leg syndrome can build up and make things worse. If your legs feel jumpy, burning, or impossible to keep still when you try to rest, don't ignore it. This isn't just insomnia, it's your nervous system under toxic stress. Your body is asking for help before the damage goes deeper. But only knowing this sixth sign isn't enough, because the final warning is the most dangerous of all. It doesn't tingle, ache, or crawl, it refuses to heal. And when that happens, the risk of losing far more than sleep becomes real. The seventh and final warning sign is the one most people notice: too late, slow healing wounds on the feet. It often starts small, just a blister from a new pair of shoes or a tiny cut from trimming your nails. Normally, these would heal in a week or two. But when your kidneys are struggling, that little wound can linger for months, refusing to close, and sometimes turning into a serious ulcer. This isn't just a skin problem. It's a visible sign that your circulation, your nerves, and your immune system are all weakening at once. I remember John, a 67-year-old retiree, who came to me with a small scratch on his heel. He thought it was nothing, just a scab that wouldn't go away. Weeks later, it grew deeper, infected the surrounding tissue, and spread into the bone. His kidneys were failing, his blood flow was poor, and his body couldn't fight the infection. What started as a simple wound nearly cost him his leg. Sadly, stories like his aren't rare. Research shows that 1 in 4 people with kidney disease will develop foot ulcers, and half of those ulcers eventually become infected. Many of these infections lead to amputations that could have been prevented with early attention. Here's why it happens. When your kidneys weaken, waste and toxins stay in your bloodstream, damaging the blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your feet. Add in nerve damage from earlier stages, and you may not even feel the injury until it's severe. At the same time, your immune system becomes sluggish from the same toxins your kidneys can't remove. That combination, poor circulation, damaged nerves, and a weak immune response, makes every cut a potential danger zone. So if you notice a wound on your foot that just won't heal, don't wait or self-treat. This could be your body's final plea for help. Small wounds can become big problems fast when kidney function is compromised. Get it checked early, because healing the wound might just mean saving the kidney and saving the limb that carries you through life. But only knowing the 7th sign isn't enough, because recognizing the symptoms is just the beginning. The real power lies in what you do next, and that's where hope, prevention, and recovery truly begin. You've just learned 7 powerful ways your feet can reveal the truth about your kidneys: swelling, numbness, pain, color changes, itching, restless legs, and wounds that won't heal. Each one is your body whispering before it screams. The key is to listen early before the damage becomes permanent. Don't wait until you're facing dialysis or transplant to take your health seriously. You have far more control than you think. If any of these signs sound familiar, talk to your doctor. Ask for a simple blood and urine test. It can reveal kidney issues years before symptoms become severe. And once you know you can take action, drink enough water, but not too much. Keep your blood pressure under control, limit salt and processed foods, and protect your kidneys with smart daily habits. These small steps done consistently can slow decline, lower creatinine, and even help your kidneys recover strength over time. I want you to know something important. It's never too late to start caring for your kidneys. Whether you're 60 or 70, every single day you take a small step toward better health, you're rewriting your future. I've seen patients turn things around simply by paying attention to these early signs, by acting before it was too late. You can be one of them. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need a reminder. Share it with your family or a friend. Someone you love might already be showing these symptoms without realizing it. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel right now so you never miss the latest science-based tips, proven strategies, and doctor-backed guidance to protect your kidneys and your overall health. Remember, your kidneys may stay silent, but your body never lies. Listen, act, and take control. Because with awareness and consistency, you can protect your kidneys and the life you deserve starting today.